Good morning out there. Let's see here. See if we got a good connection this time. Had weird trouble last time starting the stream because it wouldn't, like a weird internet connection. So we'll see how this goes. Yep. Okay, we're good. All right. So. Oh, hey, anything goes. Good morning. Good morning. So, got a couple things to talk about today, and we will jump on that. So, let's get to moving. Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Resales. My name is Ryan. I get stuff from yard sales, garage sales, thrift stores, white markets, black markets, gray markets, maybe not black markets, and try to make a few extra bucks online. Today, just a couple sales. Sales have been really slow for the past couple weeks. I think I'm almost averaging less than a sale a day right now, but there's only kind of one way to fix that. And so I'm going to discuss that a little bit. And jump on to how I am solving the solution, getting the problem solved. So that's what I'm trying to do here. And so got a bunch of stuff listed or ready to list and 2 sales. And then we'll get busy. So that's what's up. All right, sales. Nothing exciting. This is, as I've said before, kind of bread and butter stuff. Let's see what the prices are on these. First up, and I was a little surprised this didn't go for a little bit more, and I wonder if I couldn't have gotten as much for it, like just cash locally. But Steve Bartkowski intercepted. This was the Falcons quarterback in the 80s. And this is signed. It only went for $11, which is kind of understandable. Couple of reasons something like this may not go for a lot. One, a lot of these are actually types of this stuff is actually signed. Bartkowski is a well-regarded quarterback in the state of Georgia for the Atlanta Falcons, but outside of that, he doesn't really have a whole lot of major popularity. And so he may have written this book, and he may have signed actually a whole lot of the copies of the local book signings and that sort of stuff. And you're going to find that with this type of athlete is that they'll write a small autobiography and sign most of the copies because they're the one going around distributing them. So this one, $11. And I didn't list it on Facebook Marketplace locally, and I wonder if I should have, because I may have been able to get $10 for it just like cash. So instead of $11 on eBay. So something to think about when you run across stuff like this. If it's a local celebrity in your state, Facebook Marketplace may be the way to go, and for cash, and you may be able to get as much, maybe even a little bit more than you would on eBay. So something to think about. All right, next up. Religion, of course. Almost have to see every time I do one of these I sell something religious. It's a niche I'm in. It's a niche that sells. So Raptured by Ernest W. Angley. This is actually a novel. This is like Left Behind before Left Behind, basically. I didn't read it, but that's kind of what the gist of what I got. What it was. So that's what this is. So something to think about. When I picked it up, it was $1 when I picked it up. One of the reasons that I grabbed it, I did look it up. I take that back. I did look it up. But one of the reasons I picked it up to look at is it has several of the markers of the religious books that I like to grab. Older, no barcode, so you have to like physically type in. Sometimes you can do a photo on it, photo search on it, but you got to physically type it in. You're not going to, the scanners aren't going to catch these things. And so, something to think about when you're looking at religious books. If it was 50 cents or less, I might have just grabbed it because you can lock this type of stuff up sometimes too. So, anyway, and that's the two sales I had on eBay. Now, on Facebook, what I did a couple days ago was I've got this big old box of sort of 1970s, 1980s toys. But it's none of it's high dollar stuff. This is all $1 to $3 to $5 stuff. Stuff you can't really flip on eBay for a significant profit unless you lot it up. But what I did first is I'm in a couple of niche groups on Facebook that are collector niche groups. And I post a lot of stuff on those. Sometimes it sells, sometimes it doesn't. It's usually timing related, not actually demand related, which is real interesting. You just have to kind of get lucky a little bit that when you put it and it's at the top and the right guy sees it who wants your stuff. That's kind of how that one goes. And so what I sold was I've got 3 batches, a couple batches. One is, if you look at these guys, some of these guys are Fisher Price adventure people. That they're about G.I. Joe size. They came out before G.I. Joes. $1 to $3 figs mostly. There's actually some rare ones. Hi, Kevin from Lakeland, Florida. Good morning. So be on the lookout for these guys. Pay about 50 cents a piece for them. Maybe, unless they're space guys. Space guy adventure people. There's a couple aliens that go pretty high. The vehicles are great. I've always loved the adventure people vehicles, even though they don't tend to bring a whole lot, a big price tag sometimes. But sold a batch of those. Have a few. This is a Transformer throttle bot. This is that wasn't worth a ton of money. A GoBot. And another GoBot and another small Transformer. Again, you say, Transformers, ew! Not all of them are worth a lot of money. Sometimes you gotta batch them up. Sometimes it's a $5 figure, and that's not really worth selling on eBay by itself. So you gotta figure out other ways to get to. There's a market for them, but you gotta know how to kind of figure out a way to get to sell them that way. And I've actually got a few other questions on a few other things in the box here. So we'll see if I can get some of the rest of that sold. So that was my sales. 2 on eBay. 2 action figure lots. What I did, I took a big picture, said these are $1 to $5 a piece. People will say, I want this one, this one, this one, this one. And you can't really do that on eBay. And looks like I made a few extra bucks that way. So there's that. All right. Now, on to the discussion we were having, I was talking about earlier. Sales are down. What do you do when sales are down? Well, there's 2 things you can do. Well, there's really only one thing you can do. One, you can go through all your stuff and tweak things here and there and adjust your prices and all that sort of stuff. But and work on the little bitty niggling details on eBay. And some people kind of advise that. You can do that, and it works a little bit. But there's only 2 things that eBay likes. New listings and sales. You want to get your algorithm, you want to work that algorithm on eBay, you got to get, and particularly a new listing that sells. That's what eBay likes. That's what eBay likes more than anything else. Some folks like the whole delist, relist theory. It works to a degree. I don't think it's as big a deal as it is, because if you're delisting and relisting stuff that doesn't sell, then I don't think it helps you all that much. And I ain't got time to do that anyway. So that is what's going on. So I guess I went through, I got a big mess right there that I'm not going to show you. that I dug through and pulled out death pile stuff and tried to get a few things listed. And I got a bunch of photos taken, and I'm working on doing a bunch of listings just to try to get some of this stuff moved. But I think I got one thing that's going to sell that may sell decently coming up pretty soon. Is one of the more aggravating things you can get as a book buyer, and that's big books in sets. This is the International Library of Piano Music. This is number 1. There's 17 just like this, and number 1 through 17. And as any bookstore will tell you, one of the more aggravating things you can go out there and deal with is a box of big books. I have had at least one kind of mess up on me in the recent past of books that I sold a lot of big heavy books. I thought I boxed it up well. The box busted apart. I don't know if it was due to the box or due to mishandling of the United States Postal Service, but it busted up and it didn't make it to the buyer. And so that was annoying as all get out. So I have to be really careful. You gotta make sure you got a really good box, and you gotta make sure you tape it really well, and then you pray, because sometimes even that may not do the trick, depending on how it gets handled. So something to think about. But that set is about $8 to $10 a book, and I don't have a complete set, but I'm trying it out anyway. I usually don't like doing incomplete sets, but this one seemed like it might be worth it, so we'll see how it shakes out. So there's that. All right, next up, what we got? I'm kind of going to go through some of the more fun stuff that I'm snagged. Okay, back to toys. This guy, that's a G.I. Joe, or what is that? What is that? This goes to a Tonka series called Steel Monsters. And Steel Monsters was sort of their attempt at sort of a Mad Max type line. And I sold the figures do okay. I haven't looked them up yet, but I have sold some of the figures to these for like the $8, $10, $15 range before. So we'll see how that one goes. Books. Last Battle by C.S. Lewis. Now, a lot of these you may think, oh, those don't sell necessarily all that well by themselves unless they're old. Yeah, but this is like a British edition from 1981, and it's here in the States. Sometimes that means things sell. If you look something up and you trip over something, and all it is that it's like they're sitting in America anywhere. Sometimes it's worth grabbing. So I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna probably do it between $9 and $12. Do a little more homework on it, but this one may be worth thinking about. I was curious. Is another reason why I got it. Okay, this bad boy. Ugh. This is in American Processed Plastics. American Plastic Toys Inc. Late 90s, early 2000s, 12-inch-ish style G.I. Joe Hummer. They got a license to put that. They would have had to have gotten a license to put that on there too. So it's a Hummer toy. I saw a mint and package one. I didn't find it in the recent solds. So I think I only saw one of these in the package for like $100 or something. So I'll grab it. This is one of the great things about Ground Advantage, is you can finally ship something like this for a lot less money than having to deal with priority mail. So I may start it out if I can't get 30 or $40 for this. It still may not be worth going a whole lot lower than about 25, I guess. I'll probably start at about 40 and see what happens. I got to do a little more homework on it and see what's worthwhile doing. See if I can't get at least 25 for it shipped, which means I'll put about $10 in my pocket. If not, flea market sale, $5 to $10, and that'll be fine too. All right, next up. What else can get listed? Okay, couple series here. All right. This one, another old religious book, D.L. Moody, The Overcoming Life. I think I got this one up for $10, $12. It was, this is sort of a unique copy. It's a little bit older. I don't know how old it is. There's no good publication date on it. I'm thinking 60s to 70s. That book is pretty common out there, but the book does sell. So we'll see how that shakes out. Next up, this is a Childhood of Famous Americans paperbacks. I really like finding the hardcover, the older hardcovers of these. Those do really well, but these tend to do okay at about around $3 a piece. So if you come across a stack of them, if you regularly see them at your local thrift store, they may be worth grabbing, stacking up till you get 4, 5, 8, 10 of them, and putting them out there. Another set that tends to do okay is these right here. These books. These are sometimes easy to find, and a lot of times they're easy to find in groups. These are good. There you go. Great Illustrated Classics. This is that they got a white. Anyway, they got a white side with red lettering. These are real good to snag, and don't pay more than $1 a piece for them. But there's some of these that lotted up can go almost to, I think I got these started out at $4 a piece, and lotted up. So I really like grabbing these and flipping those. I got a lot of about 8 there. I have sold lots of 20 before on eBay. That's one of those things that almost always sells within about 90 days. So grab those when you see them. Let's see. Anything else fun? Oh. I almost wish this fit. It's a Zorro hat. It doesn't fit me. Really nice condition. This is by Adobe. Alamo hats. Cornerstone. It said Cornerlander. Not sure what that means. Decent quality. I'm probably going to try this at about 30, between 30 and 40, as I'm hoping what it'll bring in between. Alamo hats doesn't seem to have a whole lot of expensive stuff on there, but this is also like, there's not a lot of Zorro hats. So that's what I'm going to try with it, particularly with Halloween kind of starting, some of that's starting up a little bit, but this may be a good one to ride through there. So fun hat. I still need to get one of those flexible tape measures because I got a couple of hats back there that I need to measure the inside of. Good quality hats, but you gotta describe them properly, and you gotta get the sizing right. And to do that, you need one of those flexible tape measures. And I haven't gotten one yet. I need to grab one and keep it here because those are handy. Next up. I think that's, and I got a bunch of other like cheaper series books. Junie B. Jones, a batch of classics. Anything else? Nothing that's going to be high dollar, but stuff that I need to get listed, stuff I need to get out the door, stuff I just need to make sure to do, because one of the things that the eBay algorithm likes is regularly listing. It actually may even, like, if you've got like 100 things to list, rather than dump them all at once, space them out. And I think the algorithm actually prefers that than a big dump and then nothing. So something to think about while you're listing and that sort of thing. And I think that's it for today. So thanks Anything Goes and Kevin for joining me this morning. And everybody else out there, have a good day. And I'll see you next time. Oh, like, comment, subscribe. That's fun too. finish that. So, 3 viewers. Anybody got any questions, comments, snide remarks, or anything along those lines before we jump off? Or suggestions. Those are always nice. Yes. Good luck. I'd be with you. I tried to go this morning. I do a loop around before I come into work on Fridays, but nobody had any yard sales. I actually had good luck last week grabbing at a yard sale. A guy was selling a bunch of tools, but it's all going to be flea market stuff. And I found a shovel, and I needed a flathead shovel, and I found one at a yard sale, and that's excellent. That way I don't have to buy one brand new. So, I think we're good. All right.